But what you're talking about this today is kind of important. Folks, today is Election Day, and we are getting ready to decide something that's related to what you were talking about with domestic violence. Through our journey at Jazz for Peace, one thing that's getting more and more prominent that we're noticing and is front and center is that a massive amount of people of all walks of life, Republican or Democrat, Serb or Croat, Israeli or Palestinian, agree on things, and yet the government is doing something completely different than the will of the people. And so many of these problems could be solved by listening to the people who have, sometimes a really good outlook. Today, Jazz for Peace came out and endorsed Jill Stein because we found in polling ourselves, our own polling, we found that 96% of Israelis and 96% of Palestinians all agree with each other on a proposal that Jazz for Peace has presented for the Middle East. And you would think that the people spending all this money on war would say, oh my God, 96%? Why don't we take a look at this and see if we can resolve this issue? But I see it with other situations constantly where we could just listen to the people and we might get so much closer to solving these problems. But we had a request for a song today, and I'm going to play that song, but I know you said you like rock from the 2000s, right? Did you ever hear of a band called, I call them LinkedIn, but they're Linkin Park?
Yes. Yeah, I love that band. Yeah.
You like the band?
Yeah, I was really big into it when they first came out. That was quite an era.
All right, so why don't I play a medley then? I'll do a jazz version of a song by Linkin Park, and then I'll go into our request from one of our volunteers. I always try to honor their requests. And it's funny that the volunteer requested a song that's about the America we once knew, the America that was a lot less complicated. And it's about a guy fixing telephone poles in middle America. And it's a song by Glenn Campbell. So we're going to satisfy everybody here. This song by Linkin Park is crazy because the words, as you're going to hear, Jennifer, mean so much to people such as domestic abuse survivors and people that are these floods, all these situations where people feel like they're alone and isolated. And that's what the domestic abuse survivor feels. They feel like they can't talk to anybody. No one will understand them. They feel isolated. They feel alone. And so this song is actually called You Are Not Alone. And then we're going to go from that into this Glenn Campbell song. So we're going to go from one polar opposite to the other called Wichita Lineman. And let's see what happens. I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire. I hear you singing in the wine. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. No, I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. And if it snows, that stretch down south won't ever stand the strain. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line.
Bravo, that was well done.
Thank you very much, Jennifer.
I might get into listening to Glenn Campbell now. That was pretty awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of people don't realize Glenn Campbell was a great studio session guitar player before he became, you know, like, you know, this kind of almost a Hollywood kind of star. But he was a great studio session guitar player.